Hey guys, what is going on? Today is a very exciting time to be a Call of Duty fan. We do of course have the Season 1 roadmap, and it does feature all of the Warzone Pacific stuff, all of the new multiplayer content, including about 5 new weapons that we are going to get, 3 of which are actually in the Battle Pass. We're getting 2 new maps in multiplayer, one of which I did actually predict and have been asking for a very long time. Dome is coming back from Modern Warfare 3 in a remade version, which is very cool. We're getting new game modes, we're actually getting new perks and equipment as well. Also, the anti-cheat is coming in, the new Warzone map, everything that you can expect, the Warzone integration. This is a massive time to be a Call of Duty fan. As you can see on the screen just here, we do have all of the information that is available on this particular roadmap, and there is a lot of stuff to cover. But we also got basically the inside of what we are getting in Season 1, which is super exciting. It turns out that the leaks from a few weeks ago were actually correct. We actually are receiving about 5 new weapons here, one being M1944 Carbine, which is the Cooper Carbine in this case. We're also receiving the Gorenko Anti-tank rifle, which I believe we did see featured in that leak as well. We're also getting the Welgun too, which is very exciting, which is basically a little bit of a custom sort of like prototype-ish SMG style weapon, which is super exciting. We're also receiving the Sawtooth melee weapon in the Battle Pass, which is a little bit different, something we've not seen before. And then in the middle of the season, I believe we're also receiving the Katana and the Welgun that we did mention previously as well. We're also receiving a couple of different perks in the Battle Pass, which is actually super cool. We'll go over that more in a second. And also, hopefully I can flash up a little clip of it here. I'm a little strapped for ideas at the moment of what they could be, but I've always wanted Dome from Modern Warfare 3 to come back. We are getting a new map that is Radar, and that is a remade version of Dome from Modern Warfare 3. I called for this, I was like, man, I'd love to see Dome come back, but it's probably not very likely considering we already have a map called Dome in the game. But they just rebranded it, made it a little bit different, and it's going to be a very cool addition to Vanguard. Jumping back across to the actual blog post here, we can see again the same sort of roadmap that we saw. Of course, you are going to be able to drop into like Caldera, the new Warzone map, if you do own Vanguard, which is very cool, on the 8th of December, which is, I believe, tomorrow, but it could be the day after that, depending on where you do live. It's just time zones are a bit sketchy here. Moving on here, as you can see, as we mentioned, the 24-hour access to, of course, Caldera. Again, getting a whole new battle pass here, which is very exciting. It does feature a lot of the stuff that we did mention previously. There's a lot of new content that they are adding to this, of course, with new perks, new melee weapons, and so on, and your usual couple of guns that you're going to be able to unlock as well. So as it says here, this is basically the biggest battle pass offering that we've ever seen. 3 functional weapons that are going to make the game very cool. 2 new perks and a new piece of equipment, all free, which is fantastic, of course. As you can probably expect, we are getting a couple of new operators. I believe we're getting one at the tier 0 of the battle pass, and this is Kai, I believe. As you can see here, he's got like the ghillie suit style stuff, which is again very cool, and going to be actually a very good operator for the new Warzone map. If you don't want to be running around and be seen by everyone, if you're in like a foresty sort of jungle style area, this is going to be definitely a good operator to run around with. They are very likely to be adding a lot of different bundles and stuff to the store as well. That's what happened in Cold War and of course Modern Warfare as well. Once the season did kick off, we saw a whole bunch of different bundles and variants going into the store, which this year are going to be very important with that amount and that sheer number of attachments that you can unlock. Some of these weapon blueprints that you can get in the store are actually going to be very beneficial considering how many attachments there are. If you do grab the battle pass, you get a number of different rewards at tier 0. You're getting an Arthur Kingsley skin, which is sweet. You're getting a Season 1 XP boost, which is very standard. You get 10% more XP than usual. You get a 45-minute double XP weapon token, which is again very nice for leveling up some of those newer weapons. Moving on, we are also getting new operators within the season. Again, continuing on the theme, being able to get a couple of different operators, probably within bundles, I would imagine, but I'm not 100% sure of that. Again, as you can see, this is a little bit of a quick look at the new weapon that we are getting in the I think it's the Cooper Carbine in this particular game, but that I believe is the M1944 Hyde. It's basically just the carbine version of the Thompson here, which is again a very cool addition. Talking about the weapons here that we are getting, again, we are getting 5 new weapons in the Season 1 thing, which is very sweet, including 3 of them that are in the Battle Pass. Again, talking about them here, we do have the Cooper Carbine. Again, this is like, as I said, the M1944 Hyde Carbine, that version of the Thompson. This is an American hybrid rifle with SMG-like properties, so I am sure I'm going to absolutely love this weapon. Being an assault rifle with those SMG-type categories is actually really cool. That's what we saw with something like the LC-10, which was an SMG with assault rifle-like categories. So those hybrid weapons are always very good in these games. This is a short-range assault rifle that's easy to use and easy to control with a very fast fire rate here. It'd probably be best compared to the Automaton, which is one of the fan favorite weapons at the moment. That thing is an absolute demon, man. I love the Automaton in this game. By default, the Cooper Carbine has a slightly slower fire rate than that, shorter effective range, and a bit more horizontal recoil, but in exchange, it does offer better damage per shot, quicker centering speed, and a bigger default magazine, and then of course the automaton, which is actually very, very cool. When we go into the gunsmith here, we can boost that fire rate up to 1,000 rounds per minute. We can set its damage to a 3-shot kill, which is absolutely insane. I can't imagine they're going to have 1,000 rounds per minute, but a 3-shot kill at the same time, because that is 120 milliseconds worth of TTK, so I can't imagine those two things happening together, but if they do, that'd be absolutely broken. Or we can get a 60-round drum mag if we do want to make this like a bit of an SMG here. I think this is going to be a very, very great addition to the game. It should be a 3-shot kill with the right attachments, meaning it is going to be probably hit that 170-ish millisecond time to kill value. Unless they actually do manage to combine that 1,000 rounds per minute with that 3-shot kill, that's going to be broken, so keep an eye out for that. We are also getting the Gorenko Anti-tank rifle, which this thing, as you can see here, is an absolute monster. Basically, this is going to be a 1-shot kill machine, a heavy semi-automatic rifle. But you're probably not going to be able to hit a follow-up shot without some of the attachments, because the recoil on this thing is going to be absolutely monstrous, especially as it is a tank gun. There's no tanks really in Vanguard, so being able to hit somebody with this, you're probably going to get a 1-shot kill. So again, going to be an absolute 1-shot kill machine. Look at the size of this thing. You're going to probably get a 1-shot kill basically to the upper torso. Like anything higher than the legs is probably going to be a 1-shot kill, and that might include arms as well, depending on like the shoulder, maybe. I'll have to wait and see how it comes out in the wash with like the damage numbers on this thing. Then we are getting our first melee weapon in the Battle Pass, which is unlocked at tier 37 of the Battle Pass, and that is the Sawtooth. Basically just a stick with like shark teeth attached to it, which is actually a very, very cool melee weapon. Does seemingly fit very thematically with the Caldera effect of Warzone and Vanguard. Very, very cool thing to be added to the game. Then again, during the launch window, apparently this is going to be dropping fairly soon after the patch does, or the update drops. We're getting a katana, which is again very, very cool. I love seeing this kind of thing getting added to the game. And then the Welgun, as you can see, this is a nice clear picture of it here. I looked at this on my phone and I'm like, I can't really see it, but this actually looks sweet, man. The Welgun SMG is getting added in the middle of the season. You're probably going to have to unlock this via a challenge, which is pretty standard for unlocking like mid-season weapons. And I would definitely imagine that this is probably the weapon variant blueprint thing that they're going to have in the store to be available to be purchased at the same time. So instead of having to unlock this thing, you can just go ahead and buy the bundle thing. That does let you unlock it as well. This is going to be very, very cool, and is a little bit similar to the Sten with the default ammo that it does use. It is an extremely compact weapon. You can see this thing is an absolute machine. Like, this thing is so small, it's so cute, but it sure is going to pack an absolute punch. Moving on here, as I mentioned earlier, we are getting 2 new multiplayer maps in Vanguard, which is again very, very exciting. One that is a brand new addition to the game, which is actually very, very cool. As we can see, new maps including Modern Warfare 3 Dome Remake, which is Radar, which is just mwah. However, I believe this is the Paradise one. Paradise, which is coming at launch. A weapons testing site sits somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, hosts all task force operators for joint exercises, a medium 3-lane style map featuring an underground tunnel and pools of toxic waste. So that is a little bit interesting. Something we've not seen an awful lot of. I hope this is quite cool, because just given these couple of screenshots that we can see here, I'm very, very excited about this. And then as you can see here, we do have Radar, which is again the remake of that lovely, lovely map, which is Dome. This is like the top area bit. That's sort of the Radar towery sort of domey bit from the previous game. And this is like that top building on that second upper layer, because that's where these trucks are located in the Modern Warfare 3 version of the map. And that's sort of the inside building-y bit. It does wrap around all the way over there, and then you sort of wrap around behind here and go in this radar-style building, which is, again, going to be very, very cool. I actually do think that this is a nice thematic change, because instead of having that massive radar dish, the big dome thing that they did have in that sort of period of time in Modern Warfare 3, basically this, we just got an old school radar tail, which is absolutely ridiculously large, just a massive pole and just a bunch of wires. So that is, again, fitting thematically and going to be a very, very cool addition to the game here. We are getting 2 new perks, as I did mention, and again, they are in the Battle Pass, which is actually very, very cool here. The first one here is Serpentine, which is a perk 1, tier 21 of the Battle Pass, which does sprinting reduces incoming damage. So being aggressive and sprinting around everywhere means you are going to take slightly less damage from all ballistics and explosives, which is very, very cool. While tack sprinting can actually cut damage by more than a quarter of its normal values. So when you are sprinting around everywhere, you might actually have to worry about your TTK and your damage values, because you're going to take less damage when you are sprinting around everywhere. So that is definitely something to consider here. Then we do have another perk in the tier 44 slot on the Battle Pass, which is Intuition. Your vision pulses when enemies are nearby, even through walls. Similar to High Alert in previous games, but with shorter range, Intuition does allow you to perceive threats before they round corners or burst through doors. This is done without the need to suppress them like with piercing range, but of course making it a more passive option for those looking for more close range engagement. That seems very strong. Like, that seems a little powerful. Probably depends on the actual range. Like, if you are playing at close quarters engagements, likely you already know somebody's coming around the corner unless they have ninja. You probably are able to tell if somebody is coming around the corner because usually you can hear their big stompy boots, or you can at least hear a reload, or the operator says something. So for the most part, you should know if somebody's coming around the corner. So this could be very useful, but it does actually replace Ghost and Ninja, which is a little bit of an unfortunate one, but it is what it is here. Very, very cool addition to the game. I look forward to them adding more perks in next Battle Pass, like Season 2 and so on. This is going to be a very, very cool addition to the game. And we're also getting a special incendiary grenade, which is lethal equipment in Tier 39 of the Battle Pass. Again, another nice addition. It's basically an extremely limited and handheld version of the firebombing run kill streak. You just chuck it somewhere, it blows up, deals a lot of fire damage, and then leaves a patch on the ground, which is very, very cool, man. And that is pretty much it here, guys, for all of the Season 1 content that we are getting very, very soon, including all the new Battle Pass stuff, including 5 new weapons, 2 new maps, 2 new perks, and a new grenade. So again, hopefully you did enjoy this one, and if it did help you out at all, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on, because it does massively help me out, and I really do appreciate it. And again, if you did enjoy this one, make sure you show the like button some love too, because that really does help get these videos to as many eyes as possible and help cut through the YouTube algorithm. Again, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in Season 1. Bye!